Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2024 BMW 760i. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this luxury focused sedan for me today. Definitely take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. This 760i is finished off in Graphite Gray Metallic. MSRP is $144,000. Now this is powered by the 4.4 liter twin power turbo V8. It's paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission, pumping out 536 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the xDrive all-wheel drive system, where this model also has all-wheel steering as well. It weighs in right around 5,000 pounds. 0 to 60 is 4 seconds. It has a top speed of 155 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 19.5 gallons. You'll expect to see around 18 miles per gallon in the city, 26 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 126.6 inches. Its overall length is 212.2. It has a width of 76.8 and a height of 60.8 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this 760i, let's start off with the kidney grille, because this particular model has the optional illumination for the entire surround. So that will light up at nighttime, which is a really cool distinctive feature. Now this has the sensor for the adaptive cruise, forward-facing camera. There's even the active grille shutters, which will open up to provide more cooling to that engine when needed. And then for the split design for the headlight housings and the turn signals and DRLs, those are in the upper section. Headlights and high beams are in the lower housing there. There's also more gloss black trim accents on the far ends, along with some more cutouts. And there's even more cutouts in the lower section there, and some very nice lines in the lower section of that bumper. So with all the gloss black basically in that middle section, it's nice to see the bodywork surrounding that. And then there's very clean lines that come down the middle of the hood with that BMW badge right in the middle of the grille. Now as we work our way to the side, this has a set of 21-inch wheels with a really nice multi-spoke design to them. These are the M Sport wheels, along with the M Sport brake calipers, which are finished off in blue. Now the entire lower side skirt is finished off in gloss black. This has power folding side mirrors, which are body colored with a camera and a turn signal. And then up top, this does have a full moonroof. All of the window trim is blacked out as well, including the trim accents surrounding those door handles. And it has a really nice, kind of somewhat of a boxy design, but I think it looks really nice with all the angular looks. And then in back, there's a very small trunk mounted spoiler. Backup camera is integrated into that BMW badge. There's the LED taillights with those dark housings, more gloss black in the lower diffuser with that quad tip dual exhaust, and you can remote start this. So you just have to triple tap on the lock button. You can do that to start it up and then to shut this off as well. And you can use the key fob or this button right here to open up the power trunk. Now the 7 Series is the largest sedan from BMW, so there's quite a lot of space in the back. For this model, the back seats do not fold down, but there is that cutout there if you need to pass any items through. There's some battery access on one side, storage bin on the other. No storage underneath the floor, however, but this is a massive amount of space. You could put in items sideways if you needed to, depending on how large they are. So definitely plenty of space, even with the back seats not folding down. And then you have the buttons up top to close it and to lock the vehicle too. Now, as we work our way to the doors, you can either use the control up underneath to manually open them up, or push on that button and they will open up for you. So if you have your hands full, you can quickly push on that and get the door open. Now for this interior, this does have sunshades, which are automatic, so I will show that here soon. There's storage in the lower section, the electronic release. There's also the manual release if you need to use that, and then the window adjustments, and you even have this cell phone screen right on the door panel itself. So you can get into those blinds to raise and lower those. You can adjust quite a few just depending on what you need to get into. There's your display that you can go into for the theater. You can fold that down. You have a few different modes that you can also adjust as well. So it's very cool to be able to get into this, even adjust the climates when you can turn those on. You have heated rear seats as well. So you have a lot that you can go through from the back. And then we have the black leather seats with the really cool design down them. Hopping in now, you can actually close this without having to do anything. So just push on that button. Of course you can do this manually, so you don't have to use that every time. So if I go to display, I can fold down this entire screen. And when it folds down, it actually closes all of the sunshades at the same time. So that way you can block out any of the light and you can bring this to life, watch anything that you would like to. It is a massive screen. I believe it's around 40 some inches, and you can just relax in the back of your vehicle while that is still pulling up. Behind both of the front seats, you can attach another tablet if you want to and charge them as needed. There's some climate vents right in the middle, a little bit of storage down below. And then as far as the rest of the interior goes, it is very, very spacious. At 5'10", I have plenty of room for my legs and my feet, and I have 3 or 4 inches above my head. So this is a very comfortable place to be, watch some movies, and just relax while you are being driven around in the 7 Series. And then right in the middle, you have some storage in the armrest with some more auxiliaries, and you even have the cup holders, which will pop out too. And then this is how you can gain access to the trunk. If you need to put any items through, you have some longer items, you can easily do that. Now we have the dome lights up top, and then here is the screen. It is a touch screen system. So on this left side and the right side, it's a mirror image, so you can actually split the screen between both of your backseat passengers. You can get into the display here and go through all these adjustments, and then obviously you can pull up whatever you would like to. You have TV there, HDMI, so you can hook up some additional items. Very cool to see this. And then when you're done, just click fold up and it will retract back into the roof, where this also has the full moonroof. So that sunshade will open up all of the way, where this has the Alcantara headliner, and then all of these sunshades are now going to provide us with light. And that is actually the button that you can use to open and close the door. And if I push on that button while I exit, I don't even have to close the door, which is a really cool feature, especially for this style vehicle. Now, as we work our way to the front door panels, you'll notice a lot of crystal. That's on the controls for the seats. There's also some more adjustments for the seats, memory seating controls. There's the power folding side mirror adjustments, trunk release, and then more storage, and the manual release for your front. There's also really cool accents that surround all of these speaker housings, and then very plush front leather seats with a leg adjustment that you can use. Now, in order to close the front door, you can push on this button right here, similar to the rear door, or just put your foot on the brake pedal and it will close for you. Now, the steering wheel is finished off in solid leather with a really cool spoke in the lower section with the M badge. On the left side, there's the cruise control settings. Right side, there's volume, as well as shortcuts to your music, Bluetooth, and voice commands. And this even has paddle shifters as well. But let's start this up. The crystal button is down below. We can bring this to life now. With this digital gauge cluster, the left side, there's miles per hour along with fuel. Right side, there is your tach along with what gear you're in. Now, in order to go through some more info, simply just click this button right here, where now we can scroll through the content that is available. So you can look at some of these vitals. You can even pull up your augmented reality. So this is a forward-facing camera system. You can use this a little bit more at nighttime, which is going to be more helpful, but you can use it during the day if you need to. You can also pull up the navigation, and you have a few other vitals that you can look at. Now, if we scroll over to layout, there's 3 different layouts, just depending on how you would like to view this information. And then the last one is for the head-up display, where you have 3 different settings, again, just depending on what you need to see for the day. So it's really nice that you have those adjustments for both the gauge cluster and that head-up display. And then on the left side, there's an air vent adjustment, headlight controls, along with the button to open up the door again. And then you also have some lighting features that you can get into. So that will pop up in this infotainment system. And then if we go to home now, you'll have navigation on one side, and then there's info that you can scroll through on this left side. So it's a nice split screen to it. In the lower section too, there's shortcuts to your phone. You can get into a lot of apps too. This has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and various apps that you can go into to configure this to your liking. There's also all the climate adjustments that you can get into, as well as your navigation, and then a shortcut to music. And in the lower section as well, you have your temperature controls, as well as the adjustments for the heated and ventilated seats and the heated steering wheel. And then you can also go through that info using the controls down below. There's the crystal rotary dial, and then a bunch of shortcuts that surround that. So just click on all of those and you can get into what you would like and use that rotary dial. Now down below, there's wireless charging. There's also 2 cup holders. You can actually hide those away if you'd like to, and there's ambient lighting on that forward strip there. Some wood trim that surrounds all of that. And then looking at the shifter, let's just push this forwards. That is for reverse, whereas there's the 360 camera system. You can go through all of these views just depending on the visibility that you need for the day. It also has the gesture control as well. And then drive is going to be all the way to the back, and then sport mode is by pushing it one more time. That allows you to use the paddle shifters. Now there's no park, so you just push on the e-brake, and that is how you can put this vehicle into park. Auto hold is just behind that. And then there's also volume, which is finished off in crystal. There's tuning. There's also my modes that you can get into. I briefly showed that on the rear door handles, but when you do that, it will change the lighting of this vehicle. You'll notice the entire strip now going all the way to the door panel change to red and blue. So depending on your mood for the day, you can change everything. It will also adjust these sunshades too. Now also down below, there's the adaptive suspension, so you can raise this vehicle if you need to. And then there's also shortcuts into your driver assistance, as well as your drivetrain and your chassis. Iconic Sounds will pipe in some exhaust notes, so it will make that sound a little bit different. Then you have your lane keeping assist. And then there's also a shortcut to the 360 camera system, as well as the parking sensors. That will also pull up the forward-facing camera. And then when you open up the armrest, there's a good bit of storage with auxiliaries in the back. And then to open up the glove box, push this button right there, and that will open up, giving you plenty of space. There's garage door buttons on the lower section of the rear view mirror, and then dome lights up top, along with the controls for that entire sunroof. And here's a look at visibility from the driver's seat. It's very open feeling. With the angles of the glass and everything, you can even see well over that left side. As we set off now behind the wheel for the 760i, this is definitely a very luxury-focused sedan from BMW. With the 7 Series, this is the largest sedan that we currently have. And this model has the power with the V8 engine. So if you want luxury and you want some performance, this is definitely the option to go with. So let's put it into the manual setting now. Let's put it into the sport mode setting too, just to make it a little bit more sporty feeling on this interior. Here we go. Sounds pretty good too with that V8, and this is pretty quick for the acceleration that I can do today. It is impressive to see. It doesn't like lurch or anything. This is such a luxury focused vehicle, and it can even handle too, which is impressive, but you can't feel any of these shifts, which is very, very nice. For this style vehicle, it's not too loud either. I like how it sounds for the luxury vehicle that it is, and the shifts are just so smooth. It really just feels like you're driving a couch on the road. With that suspension, it's going to absorb all these bumps very well, and it just gives you that quiet interior that you want for a luxury-focused sedan like this. And we have a lot of awesome creature comforts to make this a great daily driver. It's something that you can have someone drive you around as well. With the back entertainment, you don't even have to drive this, but if you are driving it, it's a really nice, comfortable place to be. These seats are very wide too. I'm not a very big person, and I feel like I'm sitting on a couch seat. It's like I'm in a recliner with the size of this, just to add to that comfortability. And one thing I haven't shown just yet is that we do have massaging seats. So push on this button on the door panel, and then you can get into your massage settings and give yourself that much more comfort while you are driving this. And I feel like this is a vehicle that can compete with other brands that cost even more, like Bentley and some of those other ultra more luxurious brands. This BMW fits well with that for its cost. So even though it's a lot of money, relatively speaking, with other companies, it's a heck of a deal and a bargain to get into a vehicle of that style for the cost that this 7 Series is. And it's awesome to see just how well this handles for its weight. The speed, as I mentioned earlier, with its 0 to 60 time, it's very cool how BMW still incorporates performance into all of their vehicles, no matter how sporty focused they are or luxury focused they are, like this 7 Series. And with it in second gear sport mode, here we go. just like that, we're up to speed with the incredibly smooth shifts. Paddle shifters are very responsive too, and on this left side for this paddle shifter, if you hold it for 2 or 3 seconds, you will notice Sport Boost count down from 10 seconds. And so that's just going to give you a little bit more response. If you need to pass or merge, you can push on that paddle. I feel like it's very similar to if you just downshifted 2, maybe 3 gears, depending on the situation that you're in. So I think it's kind of a gimmick, but it's neat to see. You can push on that and then let your pedal to the floor there. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the 7 Series. I've been in the 7 Series before. It's been a while since I've been in the gas-powered version. I recently reviewed the i7, which is the electric version. So there are 2 different options to go with. I personally would go with this 760i. I just like the combustible engine. I like the sound of it, the performance that you get from this. It's definitely a very nice luxury-focused vehicle. And as far as the turning radius goes, it's a long sedan, but with that rear wheel steering, even that quick turn right there, you can feel the back end kick out, which is something to get used to. But with its size, it makes it very, very maneuverable. So I think that was definitely an added mechanical aspect that this vehicle needed. But driving this, it is what you would expect. It is so quiet and comfortable. It really is a great place to be for daily driving and just running errands. It's a practical vehicle too with its size, so you can fit in a lot of items and a lot of people for this. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2024 BMW 760i. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.